Hi everyone, I'm Rachel from Echidna Sewing, and today I'm going to show you how to make an in the hoop Easter egg pocket. These Easter egg pockets are ideal for hiding small eggs around the house during your next Easter egg hunt. The machine I'm using today is that Brother M370. We have a 4x4 hoop, which is the ideal size for stitching out this in the hoop project. Here is everything you need for this project, but you can check out the full list down below. Now let's get started. The stabiliser I've chosen to use for this project is a Soft-Away Tearaway. For any embroidery project, the type of stabiliser that you use is determined by the number of stitches. So a Soft-Away Tearaway is ideal for a design with a low stitch count. For this project, it only has a small number of stitches, so we can use this stabiliser and it will tear away easily. I wanted to show you how I cut my stabiliser so it fits in the hoop. So I know that I need a size 7 inches by 9 inches for a 4x4 inch hoop. So what I do is I'm going to use my cutting mat here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and cut along this line. Might be difficult for you to see on camera, but I can see the white line here, and I'm just going to cut straight up with my rotary cutter and my ruler. This is why these rulers are really great to work with. And then I'll set that aside. And then this way I'll use my mat again. I've got it lined up with 1 and I'm going to cut 9 inches. And that is the perfect size for my 4x4 hoop. And I'll get 2 pieces out of 1 cut strip, and I'll have a small remnant left over. I just set this aside, and if I'm going to audition or test stitch, that's what I'll use that for. So that is cutting into stabiliser. The next thing you need to do is you would cut out your 5x5 inch square. So this is for the front of the Easter egg pocket, and I have already pre-cut this one. This ruler is 5.5 inches, actually it's 6 inches. You can see if I look at the ruler, it's 5x5. The back of the Easter egg pocket has 2 different measurements. They are both 5 inches wide. One is by 3 inches and one is by 4 inches. So I have a 10-inch square here. It's going to cut once. And this is my 4-inch. We know that this is 5 because I've already pre-cut it. Just make sure it's straight. And this one will be 3. So these are the 3 fabric elements I need for my pocket, and this is my stabiliser. The next step is to fold 1/2 inch down, so you could measure this on your mat, and you can finger press. You can use your mini iron. To flatten your seam. I will say that I have already pre-starched my fabric, so I tend to always starch my fabrics prior to any sort of embroidery or sewing, so that I know it does have extra support for my stitches. So I fold both of those down and iron. So that's everything we need for the fabric and the stabiliser. Now it's time to start stitching. I have preloaded the design into the machine, so it's ready to go. And the hoop is already loaded with the stabiliser. The first step with an in the hoop design is to stitch out the placement. So this design will show me where to place the fabric. Okay, so the next step is to take your 5x5 inch piece of fabric and place it on top of the egg shape. It should cover the whole egg shape in its entirety. put the foot down and the tacking stitch will stitch it in place. The next thing that is going to be stitched is the ribbon placement. So I have my piece of ribbon here. I've set approximately 6 inches, so we'll just cut this here. You will need tape to hold this in place, and you would fold it in half. And once you've stitched out the placement, you will tape in place. The loop for the placement goes on the inside of the egg. This is very important because if you have the loop on the outside, you won't be able to hang your egg. So I shall place my tape on both ends here, then it will hold it while I position the ribbon on the top of the egg. And I will remove the tape once the whole egg has been stitched. Okay, so then the next step is to grab these two pieces. So the first part is the top half of the egg, and I'm going to position this over the ribbon and over the egg on an angle so it's completely covered. What needs to happen is the top and the bottom do meet and cover the egg. So there's a 1/2 inch overlap for the top and the bottom so that the pocket does stay closed. So just to show you, now I will tape this in place, and I'm going to tape this side in place. I'm taping outside the shape of the egg. So then I'll take my second piece and place that there. And for this one, so that the foot doesn't get caught on the fold, I'm going to place this piece of tape right across the centre to hold it flat. And it does pull off easy enough, so I'm not concerned about removing the tape. And one more piece for the side. And then we'll stitch around the outside. Okay, so the embroidery is finished stitching. Remove it from the machine. Next step is to take it out of the hoop. We'll remove our tape, take off the stabilizer, and then trim. So I keep the tape, so I'll just gently remove it, and I recycle it for another project if I can. Okay, so the next step is to trim about 1/4 inch all the way around the outside of the egg. So I do use these red applique scissors because they have a slight curve. I like that they're very sharp. Just going all the way around the outside of the egg. With this shape, you'll also need to clip the curves. This way, the egg will sit flatter around the seam. So just clip it all the way around on the arcs. You need to be careful not to cut the stitching. And I tend to miss this part here, which is where the two folds meet. Next step, trim this thread And this thread is to turn it in the right way. So the Purple Thang's a great tool for turning seams inside out. If you don't have one of these, a chopstick works just as well. And all I do is pop it on the inside, and I'm just gently pressing out these seams. And this is where the trimming has helped. Just pushing them. There's my pocket. There she is. The last thing to do is to load your pocket with chocolate eggs, of course, ready for the big day. And that is how you make an In the Hoop Easter egg pocket. If you're interested in any of the products that I've used in the video today, check out our website for full information. And don't forget to tag us on Instagram. We'd love to see what you're creating too. Thanks for watching and happy stitching.